Union is China's biggest trading partner. It officially established its delegation in Beijing in October 1988, so it has been a witness to China's transformations during the years of its reform and opening up. We spoke with EU Ambassador to China, Dietmar Schweisgut, as part of our special series looking back at China on the 40th anniversary of its reform and opening up, to get his view on what both China and the EU have accomplished over the years. The EU delegation has been operating in China for almost 30 years, right? And has witnessed a large part of China's journey of reform and opening up. How do you see China's developments in the past 4 decades?
We have therefore witnessed on the ground China's phenomenal development in the last 40 years, since the famous reform and opening up started in 1978. And I think any observer can only come to the conclusion that what China has achieved in the last 40 years is unprecedented in history. I mean, having 40 years of growth at the magnitude China witnessed, meaning that it has achieved in the meantime an increase in real income of people which is almost 30 times in real terms what it was in 1978, and having lifted out 700 million people out of poverty, is clearly something which is an achievement whose importance cannot be underestimated.
Now, you mentioned China has achieved so much over the past 4 decades. What impressed you most?
Well, I think what impressed me most was clearly that it meant that a country which had the largest number of poor people and people living in poverty and to a large extent also in misery have come to a situation where they are living not only a life in dignity, but also a life where their material needs are largely fulfilled.
What are the reasons, do you think, are the account for all of those achievements?
I think the main reason was, as the word implies, in reform and opening up. And I think opening up China to unleashing the entrepreneurial spirit and power of the Chinese people is probably the major reason. Chinese are famous for their entrepreneurial spirit. They are famous for the level of education, for their skills. So I think providing the right framework for allowing China to fulfill its full potential was the main reason for that.
Now, the EU and China share one of the world's largest trading relationships. Together, we engage in over 1.4 billion euros worth of trade every day, and are both determined to advocate for open trade and investments. Against the backdrop of this rising protectionism, what do you think China and EU can do to promote open, inclusive and fair trade within our territories and globally?
I think this is an important issue. It's also a complex one because, as you rightly mentioned, we are 2 of the 3 largest economies in the world, the European Union being number 1, China number 3. We are also having one of the most important trading and investment relationships in the world, and therefore we both have an interest in maintaining an open, rules-based, multilateral trading environment, and this is what we share as a common objective. So we do hope that China will be able to give full credibility to its claim to promote an open international system by practicing in its own internal domestic economy what it is preaching globally. What opportunities and challenges lie ahead, do you think, for China and the EU? We think that if this potential could be fully utilized, if we have a truly level playing field, then I think we have enormous new possibilities of cooperating ahead. One of the ways to do this between the European Union and China would be, for instance, to agree on an ambitious agreement on investment, providing for full investment protection, market access. So I think the potential is there, and if China can, as I said earlier, implement this, add a clear timetable to it, and provide more specificity and clarity on which sectors would be opened according to what schedule, I think this would give confidence also to foreign investors. It would demonstrate that China is serious in not only asking others to remain open, but to truly open up also its economy to foreign players.
This has been our special report on Triumphs and Transformation series, looking at China's 40 years of reform and opening up through the eyes of Chinese and foreign leaders, experts, company executives, as well as ordinary citizens. My name is Michelle in Beijing. Thank you for watching.